Can they hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can, Mike. Yep, I can hear you, Mike.
Oh, okay.
All right, first question is Keegan.
Hey, Coach. Not a lot of experience facing the 2-3 zone so far this year. Syracuse is going to implement that. What do you guys need to do to kind of attack them and have success?
Well, we just gonna get to the game and see what happens. I mean, we've been shown few teams that we played have shown us a 2-3 zone, and we've been had a chance to go against it a few times, but nothing like 40-minute game. I mean, I've experienced 2-3 zones in the pros, but that's totally different because again, you can't sit in the lane on the backside. You got 2.9 and then you got to get out. And college 2-3s, you can just camp there. And so we've seen it a few times since we've been together as a ball club. And we've gone against each other in practice. But again, until you get in the ball game that a team does it for 40 minutes, it's, I know we got to make shots. I know we got to make some plays inside with the basketball. So only time will tell. We just got to wait until we get to the game and see where we are with it.
Alex.
Coach, two-part question. How's Rob doing, and do you expect him back anytime soon? And also, in terms of Xavier, the other night, he had those 2 early turnovers, and then it seemed like he really kind of got better at decision-making. How important is he going to be just in terms of navigating the game on Tuesday with his decision-making against the zone?
Well, again, Rob went a little bit yesterday. I don't know where he is right now in terms of playing tomorrow. We'll practice at 1:00 today. And so I'll get a feel of how he felt after yesterday and even if he can go today. So I won't know that until I get to practice. But for Xavier, I thought he played well. I mean, again, we all learning, man. Christian struggled a little bit last game, so I rode Xavier for probably the most minutes he's played since he's been here. But at the end of the day, I feel good about Xavier's play. Christian has given us some positive minutes, so if Rob can't play, Christian's got to be ready to go. And again, the zone is what it is, guys. We can't run from it. I've always looked at zones, when I played, I licked my chops when I saw zones, because again, we always felt when we played here, when we went through zones, teams zoned us because they couldn't play man to man. I don't know if that's the case, but this is Boeheim's way of coaching, and he's done it for years. And it's what it is. We just got to go down and I think we'll be ready to play and see what happens.
Zach.
Mike, I guess kind of as you examine the way Trace responded Saturday, and then maybe the way his teammates responded as Marshall had to shift more to him, are you happy with, I guess, almost sort of the learning on the fly a little bit in terms of maybe being surprised by a game plan that isn't conventional in terms of not doubling Trace, but then also adjusting as Marshall had to adjust to be able to take advantage of the holes that opened up as they did start to feel like they had to trap him more?
Well, again, I mean, I go into every game with Trace knowing that he's going to get trapped. I mean, he's our best player. He's our best low post player. So we try to design things knowing he's going to get trapped from different spots on the floor. It's just a part of it. So, when they didn't trap early, hey, I just utilized him. I mean, if they're not going to trap him, I didn't think nobody on the floor could guard him on the block. So we just kept, spoon feeding him, giving him the ball. And then when they decided to start, they started trapping a little bit right before the half. And he beat a couple of the traps with quick moves before it actually, got him, trapped tight in there. And then, the second half, they started trapping some, and and there were holes all over the place because he made some passes out of the trap across court, up top, back out to the guy that passed the ball into him. So he's learning to read because, again, we go through practice sometimes where I have the second unit have to, you got to trap him. So just to see how he fares in traps, and can he find open people that are open, or can he make plays before the trap actually gets there? And he did a lot of that in the Marshall game. I thought he did it all. So, hey, it's what it is. He's going to get trapped. We can't run from that. He's got to be able to make plays, when he's trapped, and try to beat the trap out, obviously, before it gets there. So I was pleased the way he played, and we benefited from his 43 points that he scored the other night.
Tom Brew.
Mike, I know you've mentioned several times about not seeing much of that Syracuse 2-3 on the pro level, but how does that dynamic work with your assistants and yourself in regards to preparation for this, in regards to what they've seen and done and what sort of feedback they provide for you?
Well, again, they've gone against it. We've had an opportunity to watch, the Auburn game, the Colgate game. It was one other team, VCU, who beat them and executed well in the zone, against the zone. And the zone is what it is, guys. Again, I'm not going to sit here and harp about a team that plays zone. We're going to see zone. You're going to see full court press like we saw in St. John. It's a part of the college game. And I'm just trying to prep our guys to get them ready when we know things like that are coming. And I thought for the most part, we've handled, what's been thrown at us so far. So we got to take our act on the road and play a team that plays 40 minutes of 2-3 zone. And we got to go execute against it and see how we fare against it.
Kevin.
Yeah, Coach, I'm curious what kind of interactions, if any, you've had with Boeheim over the years. Obviously, you coached a similar player in Carmelo Anthony, and just your thoughts about, matching up with a Hall of Fame coach.
He's a hell of a coach. I've watched him. Sure, I've had some communications with him when he was with the Olympic team. When I would go in, I had a few players with Carmelo and Tyson Chandler, and way back when I had Joe Johnson, who played on the Olympic team. They always brought Boeheim in to kind of set up, talk about zones, with the coaches. And he and I have interacted over the years. The fact that I did coach Carmelo, one of his, best players probably that's ever played at Syracuse, one of them. I have nothing but respect for Coach Boeheim. He's won a lot of games. He's been successful. He's won national titles. I think he won one national title with Melo, I believe, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yep.
Did he not? Yeah. Hey, he's a great coach, man. That's all I can say. And he's a good person. I've seen him on the recruiting trail this summer when I was out there recruiting. He was out there as well, trying to do what he does as a recruiter. So it's going to be, interesting to see how we fare against a great team, great coach.
Dustin.
Mike, even by Syracuse's standards, by Boeheim's standards, they're giving up, or teams are taking more threes even than usual. And obviously that's something that you usually see against the zone anyway, but it's like 51% of the shots are threes. Just how much does this game just come down to just making shots? And I guess you watch VCU. Is there a way to, beat them without having to take 33s in a game?
Well, again, guys, when you play, you throw it up, you got to make shots against whoever you play against. May it be man-to-man zone. Hey, we're going against a 2-3 zone. That's what it is. Yes, we got to make shots. You got to make shots out on the perimeter. and you got to make shots inside. I mean, that's just the nature of playing basketball, man. So, I mean, we can't change the way we're playing because these guys are playing a zone. Hell, if you got an outside shot that's makeable, shoot it, and let's see if you can put it in the hole for us. I mean, that's what it's about. If you got plays inside, with Trace and Race, our guys who are playing inside, hey, you got to make plays inside at the rim. I mean, it's just a part of the game.
Last question, Mike Pegram.
Coach, what concerns you about their offense? I mean, obviously they got some guys who can shoot the ball pretty well.
Well, they're starting five, all is averaging in double figures. That's a concern. It's the first team that we faced that all five guys average in double figures. And the reason that is that they're only about 8 deep. You know, they only play 8 deep. And the other three off the bench don't, get the high volume shots as the starting five. So you're going to have to deal and know going into the game that starting five is going to play 30 plus minutes each guy. And all of them can score the basketball. So, we're going to have matchups all over the floor where you can't take, Tuesday off. I mean, everybody's got to come ready to play defensively from a man-to-man standpoint and be ready to help from a team standpoint defensively.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see those of you who are traveling with us.